What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews as possible, as many great debaters as possible, as many of these first 15ths as possible, and more live videos that will be coming to you soon. So we really appreciate your support. And as I thought about what to do next on the 1st and 15th, as you guys may know from watching my all the videos we put on Unique Access and watching my own Instagram or other posts, I listen to music all the time, whether it's from 1979 when rap was first getting started up till today. And recently I was listening to AZ's Do or Die 2, the deluxe edition, which came out in January 2022. And what struck me was that AZ had a song called Motorola Era, and it has 2 Chainz on it. So I was kind of surprised that AZ had 2 Chainz on a song in 2022. So that got me to thinking, man, there's so many amazing songs that were surprise collaborations over the years, and I wanted to address some. Now, of course, there's hundreds of songs that surprised me, so we're not going to get into all of them here. Maybe I'll do a part 2 if you guys are so inclined and we get enough comments and feedback that you'd like to see me do more of them. But for now, I'm just going to go off some of the early ones and some of the first ones that I think really set the stage for what we see now, which is a lot of surprise collaborations, and then, of course, the run-of-the-mill collaborations. But these first ones I'm going to identify that were pretty early in the game really surprised me. So one of the first ones I remember was from the Jungle Brothers, Straight Out the Jungle. If you haven't seen it, I got Mike G on the channel. A big honor shout out to Terminator X for making that happen, but definitely check out Mike G from the Jungle Brothers on Unique Access Entertainment. And of course, for those that know the Straight Out the Jungle album from 1988, 2 songs had surprising appearance, and both of them featured Q-Tip. One is Black is Black, the other is The Promo. So for me, it was a surprise because, I've been just getting used to hearing Africa Baby Bam and Mike G rap on their own and as Jungle Brothers, but then to hear a whole third voice, it was pretty exciting. And then, of course, Tribe Called Quest comes out with the People's Instinctive Travels in the Paths of Rhythm in 1990, about 2 years later. But this is my first time of getting to hear Q-Tip, my first time of hearing his voice and getting excited of what he was going to be bringing and what this album was going to be, what this Tribe Called Quest was, etc. So that was pretty exciting and very surprising and really whet my appetite for things to come. So another one that really shocked me was Too Short, Don't Fight the Feeling, also in 1988, in my opinion, the greatest year in rap history. But Don't Fight the Feeling, of course, from his Life is Too Short album, had Danger Zone and Rappin' Forte. Danger Zone, man, those were some vicious rhymes from that female duo, and I was really disappointed we didn't get to hear more from them, especially if they were going to be doing that type of rapping, because they definitely challenged Too Short on things about his sexual prowess, which I thought was hilarious. Now, both of those collaborations were kind of out of the blue, and I had no idea who these artists were when they were being released, but I was definitely enthralled and intrigued to hear more from all of them. And another one that surprised me but wasn't as surprising as the first 2 would have been Just Rhyming with Biz from Big Daddy Kane and Long Live the Kane, which featured Big Daddy Kane rhyming alongside Biz Markie. Now, from reading credits and studying and knowing the stuff, even at that time when Long Live the Kane came out, I knew that Big Daddy Kane had written some of Biz Markie's rhymes, like Pickin' Boogers, etc. So I knew that Big Daddy Kane and Biz were tight. Obviously, they were both on Cold Chillin' Records. I got a whole playlist with Cold Chillin' interviews from all the different artists there. Check it out if you haven't watched it already. But definitely I got Big Daddy Kane on there among many others, including Marley Marl and MC Shan. So check those out if you haven't already. But the Just Rhyming with the Biz I thought was incredible because Kane had a dramatically different style from Biz Markie. It was great to hear them together. Even though they were label mates, it was still surprising in the sense that, in 1988, we didn't have that many collaborations. So it was all surprising to me and all very, very exciting. And I've always wondered, and I meant to ask Big Daddy Kane and or Marley Marl this. Hopefully I'll get to do that. But this really, to me, sets the stage for what really transformed the game, in my opinion, as far as the posse cut, the collaborations, which of course is the Symphony, which was on In Control Volume 1 by Marley Marl with Master Ace, Craig G, Cool G Rap, and of course Big Daddy Kane delivering the last verse, and in my opinion, the best verse. So if you haven't, check out some interviews I have with Big Daddy Kane right there. But to me, this collaboration really changed the game because it moved the needle in the sense of establishing a posse cut, but also establishing the fact that these type of collaborations from artists that, yeah, maybe they were on the same label, but yeah, maybe they were produced by Marley Marl, but they didn't have the same style, they didn't have the same subject matter, they didn't have the same delivery. They all were very different, and that's what I think was surprising, was that we got these four forces of nature on the mic together, doing their own thing in their own way. But this collaboration I thought was pretty surprising because I think it just took the world, the rap world, that is, by storm. And we had never seen anything like it. And of course, today, I think that the Symphony is still viewed, rightfully so, as one of the best posse songs, if not the best one of all time. Now, Big Daddy Kane kept it going on It's a Big Daddy Thing, which came out in 1989, which was perhaps one of the most surprising because now we're dealing with two super established artists in a sense, at least in the rap world, of Big Daddy Kane and Nice and Smooth with Pimpin' Ain't Easy, of course, and Live and Scoob Lover on there as well. But to have Nice and Smooth, who on their debut album really had little to no profanity, and now they're on this super R or X-rated song at the time, Pimpin' Ain't Easy, I thought was shocking and surprising, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a phenomenal song, and definitely one of the songs that made It's a Big Daddy Thing, in my opinion, one of the best releases of 1989. Phenomenal project, and I think Big Daddy Kane doesn't get enough credit for being such an amazing artist, especially during this early run, this several year run early in his career. So it's a shame, but that's why one of the reasons I do Unique Access is to talk about these type of things, because they mean a lot to me. That being said, we go to back of the more surprising collaboration, because this was something that I had no idea was coming down the pipeline, which is EPMD on Unfinished Business in 1989, also with K Solo, with Knick Knack Paddywhack, because, you know, we had seen artists kind of come out of nowhere and do these collaborations, but with the Jungle Brothers and Q-Tip, for instance, Jungle Brothers didn't sign Q-Tip. He wasn't on the same label. Tribe Called Quest is not on the same label as the Jungle Brothers, so there wasn't that. And then also, Q-Tip did not fall under the Jungle Brothers umbrella in the sense that the Jungle Brothers didn't produce Q-Tip or produce Tribe Called Quest. Whereas now, when we get to K Solo with EPMD, of course, he was the first member beyond EPMD of the Hit Squad, and they produced K Solo's material, at least early on, or especially I should say early on in his career. So that one was surprising because I had no idea that this was happening with K Solo, but it makes more sense in the grand scheme of things later, either because artists like EPMD got more savvy and were like, hey, this is a good launching pad to introduce some of our artists, but it's also a way that, you know, we can get some great exposure, introduce our artists, and then set up their solo career, which EPMD did brilliantly, I think, with Knick Knack Paddywhack. Now, you could say, oh, well, what about Parental Discretion is Advised with the D.O.C? One of the differences is with the NWA and the Posse album, with the Feel of Fresh crew, D.O.C had already been in that mix and had already, you know, from reading credits and putting things together like a Venn diagram, I already figured out the D.O.C NWA connection, so that wasn't as surprising, even though I was excited to see it. But the last one that I want to leave here with for this first and 15th episode is one of the more amazing collaborations that was very surprising to me at the time, which was Burn Hollywood Burn, which was on Fear of a Black Planet from 1990 by Public Enemy, featuring Big Daddy Kane and Ice Cube. Amir Rahimi and I did a great debaters on that. There's a link to that. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. But the thing that really excited me about this is because Big Daddy Kane, as stated earlier in the video, I thought was phenomenal and one of the best, if not the best rapper at the time. And then to get him next to Ice Cube and Chuck D, two of the other best rappers at the time, I also thought was remarkable. But then to have it on a type of subject matter that I don't think Big Daddy Kane gets enough credit for, as far as being a very politically social aware, socially conscious rapper, that he was speaking on the evolution of blacks in Hollywood, to me, at the highest level. And then Chuck D, of course, you got Flavor Flav doing the intro and commentary and different things. And then Ice Cube, who, of course, soon after Fear of a Black Planet released his debut album, America's Most Wanted, produced by the Bomb Squad and, of course, Public Enemy family. That, to me, it was just a surprising collaboration. I'm so glad that they did a video for Burn Hollywood Burn, and I'm glad that they all got the just due and acclaim for that, because it showed that the East and West Coast could collaborate. It showed these different styles could collaborate, and now it's graduated from what we see in early 1988 with some of these collaborations, and then getting the Symphony, which had a big video and doing extremely well with Marley Marl and Control Volume 1, to now seeing this is going on a platinum album with Fear of a Black Planet. It's a big video, and it's really setting the stage for these remarkable collaborations from a lot of the A-list artists at the time. And that's something that, whether you want to say it started in 88 or started in 1990 here with Public Enemy, making these as singles, this is something that's continued through 2025, and I don't see any signs of it stopping, because it's way too lucrative, way too exciting for the fans, and it leads to a lot of chatter and things to post and go viral online. So for all those reasons, it's pretty exciting. And to see AZ and 2 Chainz team up for Motorola era on Do or Die to the deluxe version in January 2022, I thought was pretty exciting, because I definitely wouldn't have thought that those two would have collaborated that year, or really ever. And to hear that song, I just thought was amazing. So if you haven't checked out Do or Die 2, we'll put the link to that in the description of this video, because that's the whole reason I thought of this idea. And definitely shout out to AZ. Would love to have you on Unique Access Entertainment if you happen to check us out. And I interviewed you back in the day. We went to Junior's in Brooklyn for cheesecake and lunch. Shout out to Jasmine Vega, who hooked that up via Virgin Records at the time. But point being is, there's so much that's beautiful about rap, and that's what I do here on Unique Access, or at least I try to do, is celebrate and champion that. So, as always, hit us up at the comment section. Either myself or someone at Unique Access Entertainment will respond. Definitely subscribe while you're down there, and you can also please support us by becoming a member of Unique Access Entertainment. You'll get access to a lot of videos early, including these 1st and 15ths, and just another way to show your support for the channel. Check me out on all social media at Soren Baker, and I'll catch you next time on the 1st and 15th.